Hey guys, Matt DeWitt from MWD Adventures here with a review of the Fenix E35R EDC flashlight. This is like the perfect everyday carry size of flashlight. I think a lot of manufacturers are hitting this sweet point of this smaller size here. We're talking 4.72 inches long and about an inch round across the bezel. You can go to their site and look up all the specs as far as what kind of LED is in it and all that. I think my general audience is not flashlight-aholics and looking into that stuff is detailed, so I'm just going to go around the basics of what I like about this guy. So the things I like about this guy is, one, on turbo, this thing has 3100 lumen max output on turbo. It throws 260 meters of throw. Also has 5 modes of intensity. So in its modes of intensity, it's got a low, a medium, a high, a turbo, an eco mode, and a strobe mode. And the strobe mode is the most obnoxious strobe mode I've ever seen. It not only flashes, but then it pauses, and then it does a slower flash and a faster flash, which is crazy. It has a lockout mode, so you can hold it. You can hold the switch for a couple of seconds and you can lock it out. That way you don't accidentally turn it on with it rolling around and bumping the switch. The switch is beautiful too. It's this little copper switch and just feels good in the hand. So 3100 lumens is only going to be on turbo mode, and that turbo mode is going to last about 30 seconds, and then it's going to drop down to a lower mode. If you know anything about these higher end flashlights, they advertise at 3100 lumens, but it's for a limited amount of time. Then it steps down to keep the LED from getting too hot. It actually has a caution: don't touch the head when you're in turbo mode, because this top part will get really hot. So you want to keep your hands away from it, but it just got a good feel in the hand. The thing I like about this guy, it's got a magnetic tail switch. Now most flashlights that are tactical, they've got the button here where you can turn it on and you got a gun or something like that in the tactical mode. This one doesn't have that. That's why it's called the EDC one, because it's got a magnetic mode. And I'm kind of torn, but I like magnets on the ends of flashlights. They are really handy. I do miss having the switch, but I've gotten so used to it holding it like this now that it's not an issue. And the magnet is extremely handy for attaching it to my hiker trailer, attaching it to the fender. I was putting it on the top part of one of my crossbars, and I could stick it there, and I just knew where it was all the time. And I could just grab it down when I needed it, see what I need. I knew right where to put it and right where to find it back. Just don't go down the road with it attached to your load bars. The thing that some of these manufacturers do, they're proprietary charging systems for charging it, where you got to take the battery out to charge it and plug a cable into the battery. Fenix has built a USB high-speed switch, or a USB waterproof port here on the side, so you can plug your USB-C cable right into it. So that is awesome. It charges relatively fast. I haven't had any issues with charging it. I actually have only run it down one time to its point where it needed a charge. So it does have a breakdown of charge indicator. If I just push the button one time, if I just push the button here, I can get my charging indicator. It turns green if it's in a certain range, and then it drops down to red. It does also, when you plug it in, have an indicator here that you are charging it. The belt clip is extremely heavy duty. I've only had it in a pants pocket once, and seems to carry really well with that. Its impact resistance down to a meter. It's a IP68 water submersible. It does have some knurling on the top, or on the edges of it. It's got some knurling, so it has a really good grip when you're holding it and shining it out. And then at the top here where this magnet is, they do have 2 little holes on both sides, and that you can throw a little piece of rope or something like that if you want to carry it, or have a wrist rope around. Personally, I don't see the need for it, but it is there if that's how you prefer to carry it. As far as on the inside, this thing has a massive 5,000 milliamp battery. So this thing's gonna run for a long time as long as you're not blasting it on turbo all the time. So no issues there. I really like it. It's clean, it's well made. Yeah, it's just a great everyday flashlight, guys. I'm using our own camp. Just gonna keep it in the trailer all the time and always have it ready to go. You get that crazy rabid raccoon, you can pop them with some strobe in the eyes. Do not aim this light at anybody. There's the big warnings in the user guide. I'll throw in the night test. So it's on. It's low, or eco, I guess they call it. Low, medium, high, turbo. 3,100 lumens, guys. That's a lot. Hold for 3 seconds. You get strobe. It goes slow, then it goes fast. Slow, then fast. Then to turn it off, just 2-second hold, turn it off, push, tap it again, turn it back on. Goes back to whatever it remembered last. Typically it'll go back to medium. It will not go back to turbo or the other modes. It'll always revert back to medium or lower. So my pros of the E35R, I love the charging port here. The charging port is awesome. I love having that. You can charge right to the flashlight. That's a big pro. The magnetic bottom, absolutely love that. And I love the switch, the location of the switch, the placement of the switch, the battery indicator built in. I don't know, it feels good in the hand. Those would be my pros. My only con, I wish that the 3,100 lumens lasted longer, had a little bit more runtime on that before step down. That would be one of my cons. Outside of that, I think that's it. So if you guys are interested in the Fenix E35R EDC flashlight, we will have a link down below. If you guys have any questions on the Fenix light, put them down in the comments. Please consider liking and sharing this video if you found it useful and helpful to you. And like I always say, make sure you guys get out, take your flashlights with you, and do a little camping.